I'd like for you to share on tape here the story about Miracle Sunday, thinking back to the civil rights movement of the 60s. Can you share with us what happened?
Well, we could start talking about Project C. That was a collaboration between Fred Shuttlesworth and the Alabama Christian Movement for Human Rights and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Project C was, for confrontation. They were going to confront legalized segregation everywhere they could find it in Birmingham. And the highest part of Project C would have had to have been the children's campaign. And that children's campaign is going to start in a massive way on May 2nd, which they refer to as D-Day, and that was Demonstration Day. And, there were over 1,000 young people arrested on D-Day, and the next day, double D-Day, they brought out the water hoses and began to, brutalize young people, trying to keep them from being locked up. Because by this point in the movement, no bail, no jail. No bail, no jail had become a strategy of the movement to try to jam up the jails to heighten the level of confrontation. And they arrested so many young people that on that Sunday, May 5th, Reverend Charles Phillips, who was the associate pastor at New Pilgrim Baptist Church, speaking of the Titusville community, he led a march. And the march that he led was designed to bring young people to Memorial Park. And to bring those young people to Memorial Park, which is across the street from the Birmingham City Jail, where a number of the demonstrators had been incarcerated. And their goal was to get to the park and to sing movement songs and provide encouragement to those people who had, been arrested on D-Day and double D-Day and so forth. And as they marched, Bill Connor set the fire department in their path and told them that they needed to return to their churches and break up their march because it was illegal. And Charles Phillips, he takes a knee and he prays, and when he stands back up again, he begins to march forward. And Bill Connor orders the fire department to hose the demonstrators, and they don't do it. And so Bill Connor is not somebody who is remembered for being patient or graceful, and he begins to curse and demand that they hose the demonstrators. He was almost as a watcher, and the young people hadn't done anything, and people were saying they hadn't done anything, and what makes it a miracle, in the words of Diane McWhorter, who wrote the book Carry Me Home, and this narrative is covered in her book. What makes it a miracle is that instead of those firefighters capitulating to Bill Connor, who, as the Commissioner of Public Safety, had both the police department and the fire department at his command, when those firefighters refused to hose those demonstrators, in fact, some of the firefighters laid their hoses on the ground and they stepped back. And when they didn't do what they were just expected to do, and that's to show brutal force in the face of these young people just demonstrating for their right to exist, basically. When that moment of humanity showed through,